remember the last day I left Africa, they gave me beautiful gifts. And my mother said one thing, remember us and tell the people about the wonderful Africa.
In my view, multiculturalism is a society that has communities living side by side with each other, but not necessarily engaging with each other.
Shut up, very embarrassing.
Interculturalism is about communities having a deeper understanding of different cultures, and the focus is really about mutual respect and mutual understanding between communities. So the whole world have completely different cultures. There's a lot of people who do not understand the diversity of Northern Ireland at the moment. That is one of the reasons why we run activities that we do to try and bring communities together, to expose them to the cultures that are coming into society so that they can have a deeper understanding and hopefully be able to live side by side in peace, but also knowing about the rest of the people who live in the community.
How are different cultures embraced in Northern Ireland?
How are different cultures embraced in Northern Ireland? People in Northern Ireland think that culture is what somebody else has, and that what they have is normality. We think Halloween's normal, but we think maybe Ramadan is something strangely cultural that other people do. It's very difficult for us to get cultural integration right when we haven't got round to living with the big cultural diversity question that is ourselves. How would you ask people to integrate into a segregated society? How do you ask people to minimise and eradicate prejudice to immigrants when they haven't managed to eradicate it to the person who's been living in the same town as them for 100, 400, 700 years.
People don't like change. Nobody likes change. And if they see somebody of a different colour, they think they're here to take my house, they're here to take my job, they're here to take my money. But in reality, because I came as a migrant worker, we were not entitled to benefits until you got the right to settle in the country.
Working with the young people, we found out that there are people who are threatened by new cultures coming in, and people feel as if we are taking their space. If communities does start having conversation and people knowing that they have rights and they can access them, then this can end, or at least it can be reduced.
I'd like you to stand and look at your partner. You're going to have 40 seconds to have a really good look at your partner. So in 2 hours' time, you'll be able to describe them completely. So you have 40 seconds starting from now to have a really, really good look at each other. No talking though.
Normally, if you're walking and you see someone who looks like not different, but who has a disability or is wearing something that we wouldn't usually wear, you are most likely going to look at them and stare at them. But I don't think we should do that, because then it kind of makes them feel self-conscious.
The point of doing that exercise is we're talking about racism, we're talking about people being picked on because other people might think they look different or they don't look like everybody else here in Northern Ireland. And it's so, for those of you that maybe haven't had that experience, feel what it's like to feel uncomfortable. We use the word vulnerable. But Northern Ireland has changed immensely in my lifetime. There used to be very few people here from other countries. The European Union's expanded. Well, what we want to do here is see interculturalism, where people are living in shared lives, keeping their own culture, their own background, and having pride in that, but at the same time sharing our lives and everything that we have in common.
How can we communicate our issues that concern us in our communities without being seen that we are against the new communities that are coming in? And how can the new community also engage in these discussions? And that's why you can see our group is completely mixed. While we want to support people who come from minority communities, of people who come from abroad to come and live in this society and find that sense of belonging. We also want to support communities who live here to understand our cultures and where we come from.
I was originally born in Kenya, and I moved to England in 2016. Then I moved over to Northern Ireland. I went to a shop one day, and I'm Muslim, so like I asked, they were selling some sandwiches, and I asked, is this meat halal? And like she didn't know what it meant, so and I said it's alright, thank you, and I just got something else. I couldn't get what I wanted. I've gotten to know about the Derry humour. Like before I came in, I thought like they used to say so many things, and I just didn't understand like what's the crack, stuff like that. So I was a bit confused, but I've already got to know all that. So.
We went on a treasure hunt with the young culture ambassadors. We went to the tourist tram information. We went to a grocery store. We went to a restaurant and a butcher's.
We asked them questions just kind of about, do people from different cultures come in?
Do you provide halal meat in your shop?
Do they have people from different cultures actually work in there? And how much are they represented?
So we wanted young people to understand the challenges that migrants face when they come to the community. And one better way to do that is to try and live in the food of those people. So go to shops, find out if there's food that they have from their countries, see if they have information in different languages that people can understand, because not everybody who come here can speak or communicate in English. See if they can get the help that they need.
If you're going to debate with the politicians, you're going to have to remember to keep both ears focused on what they say. Otherwise, you'll miss something. My job here today was to give them an interactive way of developing their own voice so that they can get up and speak and hear themselves asking these questions and get a bit confident about asking them. How was Disneyland made? Has anybody got any facts on that?
We were taught that a fact is something that is true and factual, but an opinion is somebody's own thought.
Does anybody know who made it? Yes? Walt Disney. And why did he make it? I'm going to state an opinion. He created it to make money, to make himself rich. That's just my opinion.
I think he might have made it to try and make his characters come to life.
They're going to have a debate and a questioning of the adults who are supposed to make their lives safe and welcoming and culturally diverse, and who are supposed to be looking after the policy, the law, the practice, the implementation that allows that to happen.
She taught us how to do a good argument and never go off topic from your argument and never go against your argument.
10 boys who have the confidence to say, I think I'd be good on this debating panel.
She's taught us be aware of what you're saying and don't just come out with things that you know aren't right, because then people will think they're true.
And we only have 3 girls, which is less than half. Why do you think?
The boys are full of themselves.
Oh, no. Very good. Is that an opinion? Boys, is that an opinion or a fact? An opinion. Not a bad opinion.
So I was recruited by an agency because they said there's a shortage of nurses. The agency contacted me and said that I'm going to Londonderry in Northern Ireland. And the consultant I worked for, he says to me, the IRA are going to kill you. That's what he said. But I didn't know anything about the troubles.
The cultural ambassadors taught us where they came from and what their lifestyle was like before they came to Northern Ireland. It was amazing. It was really opened my mind even more to learn more about different cultures.
They brought in different kind of clothes that they would wear. They brought in instruments that were from their religion and culture.
It was an opportunity for them to socialize with others, have fun with each other, find out through our cultural ambassadors, the cultures, the difference between these cultures, learn more about our cultures, ask us any questions they want in a very safe environment where they can get factual information rather than the information they get through the media, and simply learn even life skills. Because in terms of the programs we ran, they were also preparing themselves to debate. And our young people should be able to debate issues that concern them or things that they feel they need to have a voice in them. And that led to a debate that was very successful.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Mika Mashafo and I will be your host for today.
A friend of mine was being bullied because of the way he spoke, his accent, and he is black, and the teacher saw this and they told the boys to stop, and they didn't listen. And they kept on doing it, and the teacher did nothing else to stop it. This is unacceptable.
They were able to challenge political leaders. They were able to challenge community leaders in an environment that was very friendly to them and giving them that voice.
Every school, every workplace, every community has bullies within it that will try and exercise power.
A significant number of local people either ignore the existence of other cultures around them or have not acknowledged that Northern Ireland is becoming a global nation.
I see firsthand some of the contributions that migrants have made, people who have come here to live and stay and work. It does come down to a bit of education, possibly for those who are on the front line dealing with people.
The debate that we've had over the last almost 3 years about Brexit and all the impacts of that has been thoroughly depressing in its abuse of minorities.
Of the 1.8 million people that reside in Northern Ireland, 80,000 were born outside of Ireland or the UK. We should be embracing the vast number of cultures that these people are bringing to this town and the rest of Northern Ireland.
I would love to see a language legislation there so that people have the right to speak their own language, to continue their day-to-day lives in the language of their choice.
What I'm hearing from all of the pupils who spoke so well today, it's about communication. It's about listening to others and listening to understand.
Everyone who was at the debate learned something new and be able to act on things they've learned. Youth clubs, schools and community centres should have sessions in place that will help young people like myself or even other people be able to understand people from different cultures, backgrounds, and to not have preconceived opinions about them.
Interculturalism does work when communities interact, when people have quality interaction, when people engage with different cultures and learn from each other. They respect diversity and they also accept each other.
I've been blessed to have the chance to see everyone as like who they are in different cultures, and I think it's the most interesting thing ever. It kind of makes me understand a bit more about the world and how not everything is how I kind of imagined it to be.